We talked about BTB Savage that was shot and killed in Houston after he just a couple of months after he was involved in a self-defense killing in San Antonio. And we kind of speculated a little bit about it's probably most likely related to that, but we had no idea. And it's crazy. They just arrested a dude, Montrel Burley, 40 years old. And maybe I should just play this clip real quick before before we talk about it. But these police, they ain't waste no time, huh? they just,
Nah,
they just
they gaffled him up fast, but he must have been still in the area, man, because they just was saying they was the mom was saying, or somebody, the mom was saying she hopes he turned himself in, but looked like he didn't have to. They done already nabbed him.
Yeah. And it was crazy when I was reading about him. He had got pulled over by the police on something unrelated. This is from KPRC out in Texas.
Some new developments in a story we covered last week. Now, you might recall the shooting near River Oaks that killed rapper BTB Savage. Well, Houston police say this is the man they are looking for in connection to that targeted shooting.
Montrel Burley is his name. He's charged with murder. A second suspect has not yet been identified.
Tonight, KPRC2's Bryce Newberry spoke to BTB Savage's mother. She says her son was a good family man.
The mother of BTB Savage says he was being taunted for weeks leading up to his death because of a self-defense shooting that happened in San Antonio. The day he died here in Houston, he called and told her he believed he was being set up.
Good-hearted, amazing rapper, veteran, father, and a man who loved his family.
So much accomplished and so much life to live for Bernita Ward's 27-year-old son, Darrell Gentry, known as rapper BTB Savage.
And he was definitely trying to make a career out of it. That's what led him to Houston.
But last week, more than 60 rounds in the middle of this River Oaks area street killed him in what police call a targeted drive-by shooting. Surveillance video capturing him being followed in his white Mercedes.
To have him killed the way he was killed, like a senseless dog, gunned down in the street, and then while his body laying in the street, then they're robbing our place. Like, no, that's not acceptable to me.
2 months ago, his mother says a friend asked to do a song with him, but that turned into an armed robbery at his apartment in San Antonio. Police say his fiancée shot and killed one of the men, later ruled a justifiable homicide, case closed. Vlad TV published an interview with him on YouTube when he said, quote, "It's our first time like even shooting a gun or shooting somebody." Vlad TV asked if he was concerned about retaliation. He said, quote, "He got real family members too, so they for sure might do what they do, but I'm going to get active."
It ignited a fire to where they were saying, oh, we're going to kill you.
The day of his killing, he posted these photos in the bloody San Antonio crime scene on Twitter, dead 2 hours later.
It's sad that two families had to lose two amazing sons. Both of our children made decisions that led to their demise. Nobody wins here.
Gentry's mom hopes these suspects will do the right thing and turn themselves in, and says she will not rest until
Okay. So that was actually before.
Reporting downtown, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
That was before the arrest of Montrel Burley. But Montrel Burley, I think it's fair to say that Montrel Burley is related to the issue of BTB Savage killing Omar Robinson in San Antonio in February. Because what I did was I looked up Montrel Burley, and this dude was arrested in a town called New Braunfels. He was arrested in a town right before he got arrested for this. And what's crazy is I want to show you how close this town is to that was my goal, is to figure out where the hell is this town, New Braunfels.
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you let me show you real quickly where this town is on the map, and then I'm gonna add some other information, and then now check this out. Brunsfell, I guess is the way you say it. It's kind of hard. It's spelled Braunfels. This is New Brownsville, which is about I would say it's northeast
Mm-hmm.
of San Antonio. So San Antonio is where the killing happened that BTB and his girlfriend were involved in, and New Brownsville looks like it's a suburb of San Antonio. So this dude is from this area, but the homicide of BTB happened in Houston. When we talked about it last week, like 3 hours away. So, and let me just add this one more thing before you respond to this, FG. The police have already linked this guy, Montrel Burley, to the guy that they killed. So they're saying that they're friends in some kind of way. So it's pretty clear. I think it's fair to say that the homicide of BTB is directly related to that self-defense shooting that they did in San Antonio earlier this year.
Oh, no doubt. Seriously, you know what I mean? I mean, let's call a spade, man. Montrel, what's his name? Montrel Burley.
Montrel Burley, 40 years old.
He handled his business, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He went to work for his homeboy. You know what I mean? I know people don't want to, the real sometimes, but he handled this motherfucker business as he should. Dude was wrong for going to rob him. I'm not saying dude was and his girl was wrong for shooting. I'm not saying that part. I'm saying as a homeboy and you from the set or you from the hood and you out in the streets, it didn't trigger nothing, man, to do posted the pictures and shit with the blood on the wall and shit and trying to profit from the shit or trying to, get a little clout from the shit. You know what I mean? So the dude probably, Montrel probably wasn't even tripping. The homie lost his life in a robbery. I got a homie I lost in one the exact same way, love him to death. But on the flip side, when you posted that picture with the blood on the wall and you all on Vlad, or man, dude came in and got his man, homie. And that's just what it was. I was surprised he would be that close. You said it's about 3 hours away. But Alex, if he thought that he wasn't under the radar, then why would he run far? You feel me? Maybe he really thought he got away clean. That's the problem about putting hits and doing shit today. In today's world, it's just so much technology, man. It's so hard to get away, so much harder to get away. And now this dude finna fight for his life for a murder.
So you can see that San Antonio and Houston on a map, they're pretty, it's the next big city going west of Houston, but that's about a 3.5 hour drive. And I guess there was nothing, a drive was going to stop Montrel Burley from doing what he wanted to do. And so my question is, do you think that if BTB did not go on Vlad and talk about it and did not post that, hey, here's where I killed such and such, that maybe he would, Montrel wouldn't have been tripping that hard about it?
I do. I believe that if he wouldn't have done those two things, man, I think the boy would still be alive, man. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah, it just goes to show you like how risky it is talking about this stuff in interviews. We talked about it last week without having any confirmation. And I think that the recent arrest of Montrel Burley, his link to the victim in that self-defense shooting, Omar Richardson, and the fact that this dude is from the San Antonio area is confirmation that his killing in Houston, BTB's killing in Houston, is directly related to that incident.
No doubt, but at the same time, like you say, they gonna connect the dots. They gonna see if them dudes have phone records, with each other. They gonna see how close to friends they were. They gonna get snitches to tell them, if these guys was partners, if they was from the same gang, whether it was a known gang or not, were they from the same clique, you know what I mean, and all those things. They're gonna get all those answers, you know what I mean. So at the end of the day, when trial comes, they're gonna have all those pieces of evidence. It's still a murder. At the same time, they easier to beat than people think, based on, you have to be beyond a reasonable doubt that this was this person, because you would be taking the next man's life if found guilty. So, he got a case to fight. I'm not even going to sit here and say he did it yet. You know what I mean? He haven't been found guilty. He could just be a suspect and the guy that they putting on TV and saying he did it, but we don't know for sure. We just going based off the TV, what we're seeing, and he was the one arrested. But at the same time, man, a year from now, he could still walk out them doors, man, and be a free man. So, But just based on what the news is saying and, our commentary about the situation itself, I believe that they're going to connect a lot of dots. Are they going to find him guilty of murder? I can't say that, but they are going to connect some dots and see what they come up with.
Well, they got that. Remember in that clip I just played, they got video of a car following BTB, and apparently, I'm assuming they're going to link that car to Montrel, because I don't think they'll be, blasting them all over the internet right here. There's an article right here that shows that he's being held on $1 million bond in that case, and we'll see if he could bail out. Hopefully, he got a little money and got some folks that can get that 10% and get him out so he can fight his case. But I also feel like if the dude went in there to rob the rapper, if Gentry is the rapper, BTB, if Omar Richardson was in there going to rob a rapper and he got killed in the process of that, that's almost like his bad. Like, it should have just been, it should be the end of it, according to Montrel. But I guess seeing him on the internet, BTB, seeing him talk about it, seeing him try to benefit from it, because it definitely kind of bolsters his reputation as a rapper.
No,
I
no
just
doubt.
got right, and I guess that got him feeling a certain kind of way.
I mean, I believe that's 100% got him feeling a certain kind of way. I'm gonna just be honest with you, and the reason people do things like this is because it's not enough Montrels out there, answering the call for when people doing faulty shit. You know what I mean? Not sitting here and then I'm saying that that's the answer for it. I'm saying that these are the streets, and in the streets, especially where I come from, Alex, this the shit that got put down when you did some faulty shit or some sucker shit. Okay, you got away with killing the homie because he was fault, he was wrong, but you got away with killing the homie. Don't try to rub it in. To rub it in, cause disrespect, in the hearts and of others. And, and some people will do shit,
Yeah, definitely. And I think the final point on this that I want to emphasize is the going to the internet and talking about stuff like this. This is for all the rappers out there, for all the dudes who caught cases and maybe beat them, for all those dudes that got murders dropped down to self defenses. There's no need to go telling that story online, especially when their family is still listening, their friends and homies is listening. Just tell the person that's interviewing you, like, hey, the police cleared me on that, and I really got nothing else to say about that. Right? How would you handle? What would be your response to that if a guy's like, "Hey, tell us what happened over there when the such and such tried to rob you"? What's a good street way to respond to something like that without putting too much information out there?
Well, I mean, you just don't. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, anything that you feel that's going to compromise anything like an open case or anything, you really just don't. I get accused all the time for swimming around answers. You know what I mean? And that's just what it would. That's just what it is. I can't sit here and give you everything. I mean, like you said, still open cases out there. Still motherfucking statute of limitations that haven't passed. There's still a whole lot of things out there in place that book your ass for running your mouth on this internet the wrong way. Being a dude, really from the streets. You know what I mean? We could sit here and talk about things, Alex. I could say, I got into a shootout on Rosecrans and something like that, but you're not going to get no specific situation. You're not going to get no names. You're not going to get no hoods and things of that nature. So it's things that are talked about. But when you start getting to saying I shot at such and such from such and such, his name is such and such, he drove a such and such color car. Now you putting yourself in a different situation because those old wounds can come back. So say one of their homies listen to be like, oh, I know who he talk about. He talk about the big homie such and such from, you know what I mean? And a young dude could be like, oh, he bust on a homie back there. Oh, okay, wait till I see him. I mean, it's that easy. You know what I mean? So you gotta watch what you say, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I believe we mentioned this last week. I believe, he got paid to do that interview. And once you get paid, you're obligated to tell the story because everybody wants to hear those details, man. What does that say about us as the viewers? The viewers want to hear all the details, It's the appetite for these stories as well.
No doubt. I talk to the homies all the time, and we laugh with each other because like they always say, F, we know you was there. We know you got the stories, bro. We know what you done seen and, and things of that nature, and we laugh about it, just based on, the confidentiality that we got to keep, you know. But at the same time, man, you know, it's we all go to YouTube, you know. We know, Alex, when I post a video talking about some, you know, talking to the youth or things of that nature, they don't do good views. But let me come on talk about a shooting I had, you know, in the street, you know, it's gonna get 10,000 views, you know. So, and we all guilty of it, you know. So it's an appetite. That's what people, I believe, come to social media for. They already got shit going on in their life, man. You know what I mean? They don't want to be preached to sometimes, you know, and they want to hear the raunchy shit. They want to hear the gangster shit. They want to hear, you know, the forbidden shit. And the same people who tuning in to watch the grimy shit is the same people gonna leave a comment though, talk about y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself for talking about this shit, but yet they on here listening to it. You know what I mean? So you know, that's just what it is, bro. And you gotta, you know, navigate through it and give them what they looking for, but at the same time, man, not give them nothing that's gonna expose nobody. You know.
Yeah, man. I think BTB made the grave mistake of going into details about what happened during that robbery, man. And I guess he thought that since the police cleared him, it's all good. We could talk about it. But you got to also remember that that dude, Omar Richardson, he's got family, he's got parents. He might even have kids. I don't even know if he had kids. He definitely had a homie.
Definitely had a homie, no doubt. You know, a solid one. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had a rider on his team, you know, and it's unfortunate, man. But, you know,